newsok.com and the Bart and Nadia Sports and Health Festival here at the Cox Convention Center. I'm Dave Morris, and I'm happy to be joined now by the Mayor of Oklahoma City, Mick Cornett. Mick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dave. What a great event.
Well, and you just walked in. We had Bart Conner on earlier this morning. He said 10,000 people are expected throughout the day today. It's a free, family fun event, and you have certainly been at the forefront of promoting a healthy lifestyle for Oklahoma City. So when I tell you Bart Conner says 10,000 people will be here at the Cox Convention Center for a sports and health festival, what do you think about that?
Well, Bart's the best ambassador we got, and I guess Nadia is a close second, because this event brings out, as you said, thousands of kids who get to try new sports and new activities. And I think it's important that we establish early on that fitness can be fun. And I think this event really highlights that. I just went over at the archery competition and found out that 100 years ago I would have starved if I would have to rely on my archery ability. But it was fun to do, and the kids just seem to have a great time, whether they're shooting basketball or doing the rowing or doing the archery or tennis. It exposes kids to a lot of fun things.
Mayor Mick Cornett mentioned that it's the Perfect 10 Fitness Challenge, and that is for, I believe, for the younger people, although I see some older people competing as well. 10 different events, all sponsored. You mentioned archery. That's sponsored by our friends over at H&H Shooting Sports Complex. Why was sports and health and a healthy lifestyle important for you as you became mayor of Oklahoma City?
Well, you look at the health statistics of the entire state and you can see that we had some work to do. I thought the first step we needed to take was to get a conversation going about it, and then specifically about obesity, because that's one topic that people don't feel comfortable talking about normally. And I just saw that all we had to do was look at the next generation and say this is not going to get better on its own. If we don't address it and accept it and fight it, it's going to get worse and worse. And so the idea is just to allow people the comfort of talking about it and exposing it for what it is. And it's something that I think is something that we can do better on. And it starts with kids this age.
Well, it does. Let's recap a little bit, because you put the city on a diet. Take us back. What was that all about? And now that we're off that diet, what's been the result of that?
Well, we started it as an awareness campaign, and so kind of to create attention and draw attention, I went to the zoo, stood in front of the elephants, and put the entire city on a diet. And then we got a lot of really positive national attention, because I think the national media recognized that, hey, this is a problem everywhere. This is a city that's actually trying to do something about it. And that website we created just went through the roof. We ultimately had 47,000 people that signed up, and they lost a collective 1 million pounds after 4 years and 3 weeks. And there's some anecdotal evidence that we are doing better. The Men's Fitness magazine now took us off the list of what they call the fattest cities and put us on the list of the fittest cities. And the national health statistics show that Oklahoma has moved up 6 spots on the list. And so we still have a long way to go, but I think that's the type of information that should give us some encouragement that we can't stop now, because there's still a long way to go, but we can do better, and we are doing better.
A few weeks ago, you addressed the city, 1,500 people at the State of the City address. It was your 9th State of the City address, and how nice is that? Or I should ask you, is it nice to be able to quote lists such as that of accomplishments?
Well, we're achieving in so many different ways, and I like to point out that what we've really done, if you look at it from a broad perspective, is we just raised the standards for Oklahoma City, whether it's stuff we're building or it's stuff we're doing for ourselves. We're building streets that are more pedestrian friendly. We're building public art that's of grander design than before, and we need to start taking better care of ourselves. And I think that's partly where we lag the most, but I can see that we're doing better and better. And you see so many highly educated 20-somethings moving into the community because of our strong economy. They're bringing a healthier lifestyle into the community, and that's going to filter down into the next generation.
We were live streaming this morning on newsok.com. I'm Dave Morris, joined by Oklahoma City Mayor Mick Cornett. You're talking about that community. Behind us right now are the corporate rowing events, and there's a lot of spirit, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of loudness behind us. But talk about that corporate and community involvement, because as you mentioned, there are a lot of younger people, and they're getting involved in what's going on in this community.
Well, and people can still come down today and be a part of this, but yeah, we have tremendous support when it comes to health and physical fitness. All of our medical centers are typically willing to be involved. Our largest corporate citizens are not only offering really nice programs for their employees, but they try to get involved in the broader community as well. And when you put Bart and Nadia's name on something, I think that's almost like a good housekeeping seal of approval, that it's going to be run well and it's going to have the clinical aspect of health and nutrition built into it.
What about Bart and Nadia staying in this community? They could relocate and go anywhere they wanted to.
They're a perfect example of people with choices who have chosen to live in Oklahoma City. I remember in 1999 there was a poll about the most famous man and woman in the world. Nadia was chosen the most famous woman in the world, and she was living in the Oklahoma City metro. I mean, that says something. And she was out there last night. I was at the women's gymnastics event inside the Cox Arena. She was out there, offering encouragement to the collegiate gymnasts that were here. And I imagine she'll be out here today. I've already seen Bart and Nadia's son, Dylan, and along with Bart. But Nadia is a tremendous role model, and even though the young people don't really know who she is, their mothers and grandmothers do, and that name is still magic.
Well, exactly. If you're known by one name and one name only, and you also mentioned Dylan, which is Bart and Nadia's little guy. He's the one who's really running the show out here. Let's not fool ourselves.
Yeah, I saw him over at the archery competition. He was hitting the target pretty good.
Bart, who is right over there right now, cracks me up because he's always just keeping up with Dylan, which as a parent is what you do. All right, we're live streaming here on newsok.com from the Bart and Nadia Sports and Health Festival. We will continue to have live updates throughout the morning until about noon, but as Mayor Mick mentioned, this event runs till 5 o'clock. It's free. Bring out the family, bring out the little ones, and have some fun. And sir, thanks so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks for News OK support.
Absolutely.